ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ So, verse 44. आत्मा तु सततं प्राप्तः आत्मा तु सततं प्राप्तोऽपि अप्राप्तवदविद्यया तन्नाशे प्राप्तवद्भाति स्वकण्ठाभरणं यथा. So, with verse 41, main teaching of Atmabodha is over. And you know very well, we discussed from verse 31 to 41, we discussed Nididhyasana, which is a part of Jnana Yoga. So, Shravana Manam we discussed from verse number 16 to 31, 16 to 30, and from 31 Shravanam and Mananam, that is 16 to 31, 30, sorry, and 31 to 41 we discussed Nididhyasana. So, with that, well, Atmabodha is over as such. And now, well, basically we have to discuss the Jnana Phalam. What is the benefit of this knowledge? There are two types of benefit. One is a very direct benefit. Second is an indirect benefit, consequential benefit. So, well, both we are discussing now from this verse number 42 onwards. And I'm sorry that Shravana Mananam is from 16 to 31. That's correct. And from verse 32 to 41, we have discussed Nididhyasana. So anyway, so Shankaracharya talks about this Jnana Phalam in the form of Jivan Mukti and Videhi Mukti. The words, well, we are familiar of these words, but what it means, what it means by Jivan Mukti, what it means by Videhi Mukti, etc., that he makes it very clear here. And well, the first benefit we have already discussed yesterday, that is Ajnana Nivrittis. Very straight and instantaneous benefit of gaining Jnanam is, one can understand very well that it is removal of the ignorance, Ajnana Nivritti. And then other benefits will be a consequential benefit. They always give an example that when room is dark, if I can't do transactions properly, suppose the lights have gone in the night and then I get up, of course, but since there is a darkness, I cannot do any kind of transactions properly. Where is the table, where is the chair, etc. That itself I don't know. And if I just get up and get heat, if I start walking, I may get heated through the table or something. So, well, so if darkness, immediate benefit of darkness removal is by lighting up. By if you switch on the light, basically the darkness removal is a direct benefit. But then consequential benefit is your transaction in the room will be proper. You won't be hurt. That's a consequential benefit. Same way, So here also, in our case also, this ignorance is there. And same principle we can apply here. I mean, ignorance is there. And so, Jeev, Jagat and Ishvara, etc., I don't know the relationship with any Jiva, other Jiva. I don't have a proper relationship with the Jagat. I don't have a proper relationship with the Ishvara also, because of this darkness, ignorance. So, so what? Well, if I don't have I don't know a proper relation, so what? You will be hurt. That's what it is. So I am getting hurt all the time by other Jiva. In relationship with other Jiva I get hurt. In relationship with the Jagat also I get hurt. Not knowing the nature of this world, definitely you get hurt. Not knowing Ishvara also you get hurt several times. In fact, you have a list of complaints against Ishvara. so many complaints are there. Yeah, well, he is not a well-wisher, etc. of you, and he is just behind you, giving you, all the time, giving you punishment and this and that. So basically, if I don't understand the relationship properly, I cannot transact properly, and in absence of a proper transaction, there will be a hurt. So basically, Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, I have ignorance of everything. I have ignorance of an individual, who is Jiva. I am ignorant of what is Ishvara, and I am ignorant of what is Jagat. And so this transacting in darkness leads to hurt. So basically, same way, I mean, in case of a real darkness, etc. That's how intelligent people always keep a switch outside. Before entering the room itself, they will switch on the light. So therefore, the transaction in the room will be proper. Anyway, so similarly, we have also entered this world, which is, let us consider it as a very big room, in which all these things are there. Different jivas are there, Jagat is also, different objects are there, and Ishvara as a creator of everything also is there, and I have entered, but the room is dark for me, basically, and therefore I get hurt all the time. And if I know the things properly, and then definitely my relationship with all other jivas, with the Ishvara, with the Jagat, it will be proper. And so that's how Shastra always calls this Jagat as a Andhatamaha. In Ishavasa it has been told. This world is called Andhatamaha. Well, Andhatamaha means a world of blinding darkness. As if you are blind. Such a kind of darkness it is. And therefore, well, definitely a Jyoti is required. A light is required. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. That's how all the time we pray that this is tamas. Tamas means it's a darkness, ignorance is there, and well, I need a light. So in our culture, first thing, after getting up is lighting the lamp. That's how we do. And even before getting bath, a lady basically, it is done by a woman. So lady first gets up in the morning, early morning, and she washes her hand and feet and everything. And she lights up the lamp in front of the Lord. And she prays, "O Lord, that let my light be well lit, and so that I don't hurt myself during my activity in the day." And therefore, that is a very symbolic thing. And well, so according to Vedanta, Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara becomes problematic due to darkness, ignorance. So immediate benefit of this Jnanam, Shravan Manan Nidhyasanam of the Vedanta will remove the darkness. Remove the darkness, and then definitely I know who is the Jiva, who is Jagat, who is Ishvara. Ultimately is one. Everything is one. Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara is non-dual basically. And so that is non-dual Brahman. And therefore, you after knowing this, the ignorance goes away. Well, you will know all these three, and then relating to all of them with other jivas or with Jagat or with Ishvara, well, you will be free from accidents. I'm free from basically, any kind of a hurt. And and the Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti, of course, are consequential benefits. And Shankaracharya talks all these things. It has started from verse number 42. In fact, you know very well. So we have seen already two benefits. Ajnana Nashaha in verse number 42. And in verse number 43, we also saw a benefit of self-discovery, Atma Avirbhava. Well, I will come to know who I come to know my own glory, that I am basically a truth of the entire creation. I am the source of the creation. I am the truth of the creation. I am Atma of the creation. This is all one thing. Truth of the creation, source of the creation, essence of the creation, and whatever you say. These all actually the different words are there, but it's a one same. I am the self of the creation, etc. etc. So that's the second benefit. Main benefit has been talked in the verse number 42. First benefit, that is Ajnana Nasha. When you gain Jnanam, the first thing is removal of darkness or ignorance. And then second benefit is self-discovery. Now in this verse number 44, he talks about again Atmaprapti. Atmaprapti means a benefit in terms of attaining oneself. And Shankaracharya equates beautifully here that self-discovery or Atmaprapti, Atmajnanam is Atmaprapti. Knowledge of oneself is attaining oneself. There are no two different things. Why it is like this? Knowledge of oneself is attainment of oneself. Why? Because it is subject. The simple answer is this. Why? Because other than the subject, everything is considered as object. And in case of object, knowing the object is not attainment of object. Naturally, I know that in particular sweet shop is there in, I don't know where it is, New Jersey or somewhere. There is a store, sweet shop called Mitash. And, and there are very beautiful sweets are there, I know. So knowing the object is not attainment of object. Yeah. But, well, if it is a self, then knowing the self is attainment of the self. Because self is all the time there. Object may be there or may not be there with you, but self is all the time there. And therefore subject is a one. Knowing the subject is attainment of the self. But then why being a subject you should know yourself? Why there is a question of a self-knowledge at all? Since you say you are the subject and it is all the time with you, means it is you only, then where is the question of knowing it? Well, because there is a self-ignorance. And therefore, since there is a self-ignorance, well, one has to know oneself. And one knows oneself, then one attains oneself, because the distance was in terms of ignorance. And therefore, so knowledge is in the form of myself, and then knowledge is in the form of getting oneself, because very knowledge removes the distance between me and the Atma, or me and Brahman, let's say. So distance is caused by this ignorance, and so knowledge is in the form of an attainment. So that is how Atma Jnanam is equal to Atma Prapti. That is how it is. Being subject, simple answer is this. Being subject, Atma Jnanam is Atma Prapti. So distance between me and Atma or Parameshwara or Ishvara or Brahman is ignorance. So Atma tu satadam praptaha, in verse it is said, Shankaracharya says, Atma tu satadam praptaha, Atma is already accomplished by us. Why? Because it's my nature. But then tragedy is what? Apraptavat, Shankaracharya says, apraptavat, avidya. So it appears as though remote. So because of avidya, because of sheer ignorance. So like, it's like a distance between a dreamer and waker. Like, if basically if in a dream, suppose a dreamer is a shishya and some teacher in dream teacher comes and tells him that, basically you should attain the waker. That is your source. That is your Atma. When you are saying I am, so in dream the teacher is telling to that dreamer, student, when you are saying I am, that I am is basically self-evident, and that is your real nature. So you are basically nature, your source is nature, your truth is nature, your Atma is basically your Atma is waker, your truth is waker. Then he had not understood properly. So he started walking. A dreamer started walking in dream and to reach the waker, to reach to its source, to reach to its truth. He started walking. He never attains it. What he has to simply do is just wake up. That's all. Just wake up. So the distance will be in terms of waking up. Well, the sleep was a distance, So the distance between a waker, dreamer and the waker is a sleep, ignorance. Could you follow that? Dark. And therefore, when he just wakes up, he realizes that, well, I am the one, I am basically waker. Because of the sleep, I was taking myself as a dreamer, and distance between dreamer and myself is nothing but in terms of ignorance. So this is, you can understand how beautifully Shankaracharya ji, reveals all the principles of Vedanta. These are very crucial things. Why I am saying crucial, because even though we study sometime lot of things, but some basic things just does not click to us. You people are clear, I am not talking about you, but I am talking in general that this could happen. That is why, otherwise, why should I consider myself as a seeker at all? Why I consider myself as a seeker, and the moksha is a sort. Moksha is a goal of life, and I have to attain that goal, and I know I have that kind of a feeling that, well, I will get in the future. Moksha is basically Brahman. Moksha is Atma. So basically, I am like a dreamer, walking. I am waiting in terms of time here. That, well, moksha I will gain in the future. So this is the same problem. So that is how Shankaracharya ji tells avidya apraptavat bhati. Because of ignorance, one definitely, we feel that Atma is away, and definitely then, but Swamiji, I am not interested in your Atma. One person told like this. What do you want to say about Atma? I said Atma is limitless consciousness. I am not interested. Okay? And if you want, I can put in my that visiting card that I am Brahman also. Other than all other qualifications, I am Brahman also. It is not going to help me. But I said there is something else. Because you say the Brahman is away or Atma is away means peace is away. Happiness is away. Security is away. Then what? Do you like that? No. Because you are searching peace, security and happiness. It is exactly like walking in the dream, and person is searching all this. This is what is happening, and that is how we are not able to get. Only after waking up, when the dreamer attains the waker, dreamer attains himself, his own nature, true nature. Same way, peace, security and happiness, if you keep on searching in the life, you keep on walking in the life day in and day out, never you get this peace, security and happiness, because it is nothing but your own nature. You have to simply wake up. That's all it is. That's all it is. So you have to just wake up. Remove the ignorance about yourself, and you find that you are the very source of peace. You are the very source of happiness. You are the very source of security also. And more I am away from the Atma, well, more insecure I feel. So, well, seeker happens to be the sort. As you know, Puja Swamiji used to give a talk. The seeker is a sort. This is exactly, that is the thing. So when distance is caused by space, definitely you have to cover the distance by traveling. But here, it is not like that. So tannashe means, because in the first line it has lastly said avidya apraptavat bhati. Then in second line it says tannashe, means avidya nashe. So avidya, we have to replace the pronouns by proper nouns. Proper nouns should be. Then only our understanding of the verse is complete. Because in the verse there will be so many pronouns are there. Each pronoun has to be replaced by a particular noun. And that once you put that noun, you replace the pronoun by that proper noun, then you will find your understanding of the verse is complete. So tannashe, well, destroying that means what? Destroying the ignorance. Tannashe sati praptavat bhati tannashe. It is sati saptami. So when you destroy that ignorance, well, then Atma is as though attained. So Atma is attained as it were. We can say that way. So when dreamer wakes up, well, dreamer attained waker as it were. He was a waker, in fact. In fact, in a dream, when he was saying, I am dreamer, that I am belongs to waker. Really, I am belongs to waker. He was a conscious entity. How can in a dream, from where the consciousness comes? So the source is waker. Waker only under the spell of ignorance basically becomes dreamer and dream objects. So whoever the conscious entities are there, I mean whoever the conscious entity is there, conscious being is there, and every conscious being is saying I am, I am, I am, and whatever the transaction they are doing. But that I am belongs to definitely waker. That's a conscious entity. So it has been borrowed. The dreamer has borrowed the consciousness from the waker. The existence has been borrowed by the dream objects from the waker. Anyway, so this is how it is. So dreamer can't attain actually waker, but because dreamer is waker, but as it were. So dreamer attains waker as it were. Same way, well, I also attain myself. I attain security as it were, really speaking. I attain peace as it were. I attain happiness as it were. Why as it were? Because, well, I am the source. But earlier in the spell of ignorance, I was not knowing and searching in the world. Peace, security and happiness. And this anatma is basically a hollow thing. And therefore they cannot give you this. Anatma is a hollow. But Swamiji, you were saying anatma only serves the purpose. That only is useful. The hollow thing can serve the purpose? Yeah, hollow thing serves the purpose. But what your basic desire is that they cannot fulfill. That they cannot fulfill. They cannot give you security, happiness, but that's your own nature. And therefore, ultimately, definitely, other than that, in a transaction, well, all these things are useful. But if you expect them, like this serves a certain purpose. This serves a certain purpose, and definitely other thing also. These also serve a certain purpose. Everything serves a purpose. That's how in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad it has been said, Nama, Roop and Karma. What is this word? Nama, name, form and karma. Karma means every particular form does some function and serves a purpose in the creation. Every object serves a certain purpose. So not only form, nama, roop, and this world is not just name and form, but it also serves a certain purpose. It has a certain activity, and that thereby it serves a purpose. And therefore, basically, even though it is hollow, entire anatma prapancha is a hollow, it serves a purpose in transaction. But it cannot fulfill your basic desire with which you are born. And that basic desire is gaining happiness, security and peace. That why you are calling basic desire? Because every human being is born with it. And therefore, it is an American or African or a Chinese or an Indian or whoever they are. Any human being is born with this desire, and therefore there should be a solution also, because it's a natural desire. If you are born with that desire and the solution is not provided to you, it is a defect in the creation, and defect in the creation will lead to the defect in the creator, and therefore Ishvara is basically a deficient. Then Ishvara, well, definitely he should tell, I am sorry, I didn't know that. But Ishvara cannot tell that. He is a Sarvajna, he is a omniscient. Then omniscient has no word like a sorry, I didn't know. So I don't know, that those kind of words will not be there with the Ishvara. And therefore, definitely he must have provided a solution also. Any natural desire has a solution. A desire of a hunger, solution is there. Desire of a thirst, solution is there. These are all natural desire. Your cultivated desire may not have a solution. That's how you may fulfill, you may not fulfill, you may drop the desire, whatever you want to do. You may have a cultivated desire that I want to go to moon. Well, I have come to United States, and suppose this is a desire in me. I have come to United States, and let me become an astronaut, and let me travel to the moon, like that. Drop the desire, Swami. Better sit here and study and teach. No, don't talk about anything else. What I am saying is, a cultivated desire may not have a solution, because it is your fancy. It's your fancy. Ishvara does not have a responsibility to fulfill your fancy. And still, Bechara, he fulfills. Still he fulfills, If you pray too much, then he provides you somehow, so all the obstacles he will remove and he will give you. Because ultimately we are children. And so, and then he says, okay, my child wants this, okay, let me give. So he gives. But natural desire should have a solution. And the solution is lying with you. Solution is not outside in the world. Solution is lying with you. And that is why everyone who is working outside for peace, security, and happiness, they utterly fail. Yeah, whatever the source of security they consider, that itself becomes a source of insecurity for them. Yeah, more money, more security, don't think so. More money, more worries, and insecurity also. And more people, more well, I Swamiji, I lot of people will be there. I have nothing to worry. In my old age, people will be useful to me, and that and this, and will people will take care of me. Forget about it. More people, more worries are there, and more insecurity. In fact, closer the relationship, more anxiety. Really, more anxiety that you have to all the time work in the relationship. Relationship becomes dead if you don't work properly. Yeah, if you suppose, if you have a relationship with some person, very close relationship, you have to keep it alive by telling hi, hello, etc., this, that, and then some birthday comes and then you have to wish something, marriage, anniversary comes and you have to wish, and this and that, and giving gift and all this, you have to keep it alive. It becomes dead otherwise. It becomes dead. So, well, more relationship and closer relationship bring more anxiety, fear, insecurity. We don't know all these things and we jump, without thinking. That's another thing. But then, basically, peace, security and happiness I am in search of, and that should be a solution, and solution is myself. But if solution is myself, then why should I seek? That is what the ignorance leads to this, because of this problem. Because of your own ignorance of your own nature, you are seeking outside. Just as the 10th man is seeking himself outside in the world. That's what is happening. Anyway, and the example is given here. Swakantha bharanam yatha. Well, like a person has he has wore a very thin necklace and or chain in the neck. And then somehow it goes back and he or she does not realize, and he keeps searching like that. There are several examples. Of course, you can take any example here. Where kantha bharanam. So I am taking kantha basically means this neck. So I have taken abharanam here is a necklace. So as though it is lost, as though the necklace is lost, and as though it is gained because of knowledge. Somebody told you it is there in your neck only. Oh, yeah. I thought I have lost it. It has fallen somewhere. It has not fallen anyway. So this is an example. Now let's go to verse 45. Sthano purushabad bhrantya Kruta brahmani jivata Jivasya tatvike rupe Tasmin drashte nivartate. So here Shankaracharya ji says, well, very beautiful thing. Shankaracharya says that Jiva and Brahman are not basically two different entities. And there are not two different things or two entities. In fact, there are two words. Just all. So even though there are two words, Jivatma and Paramatma, well, that you should not have any confusion, because normally when we see two different words, we always think there are two different objects, two different entities. But in Vedanta we have two popular words, Jivatma and Paramatma. And Jivatma has to reach to Paramatma, etc. Also, that is, Vedanta is a solution for that. And how Jivatma can reach to the Paramatma? Oh, well, you study this Upanishad, and well, by that you can attain Paramatma. So all these things are we listening. So it is like Jivatma reaching to Paramatma is how will you explain it? So they say when ornament basically takes 10 steps forward, towards Paramatma, then let's keep Paramatma. I am sorry. When ornament takes 10 steps forward toward the gold takes 20 steps forward towards the ornament. What is this? What are you talking? What are you talking? So basically, ornament and gold. First, let us decide there are two entities or not. One is ornament and other is gold. No, there are no two entities. Actually, two names are there. And so, well, not knowing that that ornament is gold, you use, there are two words basically. So, same way there is one consciousness which is I, and this I has as though two status, Jivatma and Paramatma. Actually, Jivatma is nothing but a Paramatma, therefore two words are there, but entity is one. Like ornament and gold, there are two names are there, but entity is one. So anyway, so here also one is one is Brahman, that is the actually reality, and other is a jiva, which is a false status due to ignorance. Paramatma's status only. Paramatma's false status is called jiva. So basically, false status has come because of what? Because of ignorance of the real status. Like, they always give an example of a Karna. Just as a Karna has got a two status, Kaunteya and Radheya. And of course, he suffered because of a concept that he is a Radheya. Sutaputra, basically, a son of a charioteer, etc. Well, so because of ignorance of the Kaunteya status, he has taken himself as a Radheya. And one day Kunti met him and said, well, you are not a Sutaputra, you are a son of, you are a Kshatriya Putra, you are a son of me. And then when the moment Karna claimed that I am a Kaunteya, well, definitely Radheya status has gone away. Why? Let him keep two status, Kaunteya and Radheya, both. Why not that way? No, cannot be, because both are opposite to each other. Both are, I am a Sutaputra also and I am Kshatriya Putra also, cannot be. I am son of either Kshatriya or either the charioteer. So you cannot say that way, and therefore definitely one of that has to be dropped. And same way here, Jivatma and Paramatma. Well, both are centered on I. Well, both statuses cannot be. Either you say I am a Jiva or either you say I am Paramatma. Why? Because both statuses are opposite to each other. If you say I am Paramatma, then you have to claim I am Nityaha, Shuddhaha, Buddhaha, Muktaha, etc., etc., Asangaha. And when you say I am Jiva, then definitely Anityaha, time bound. I am subject to birth and death. Muktaha, instead I have to say I am bound, basically. And Shuddhaha, instead you have to say I am Ashuddhaha. You say also, Jiva says also, that I am basically, I am impure in terms of Punya Papa, etc. And then Buddha. So I am actually a knowledge, consciousness. Instead you say I am ignorant also. So Jivas definitely has a different kind of a status. And Paramatma has totally different type of status. So the I, the locus I, either it is Paramatma or a Jivatma. And definitely in wake of the knowledge, well, once you know that I am Paramatma, then your Jivatma status has gone. Means what? Well, basically, I, the Paramatma, only under the spell of ignorance was telling myself as a Jiva. So, same with the way Karna definitely was a Kaunteya, and he was claiming that I am a Radheya. That time also he was a Kaunteya only. And so, under the spell of ignorance, well, instead of claiming Kaunteya, he was claiming as a Radheya. Well, that has gone away by the Mahavakya of a Kunti, that you are Kaunteya, and therefore, well, definitely the Radheya status has been dropped. That shows Jivatma and Paramatma are really not two entities. Well, the Paramatma alone under the spell of ignorance is known as a Jivatma. So that is only one thing. So Jivatma and Paramatma are two different names for the consciousness. So Vedanta seekers don't look for the Paramatma, because then why should there be two names? Because when Paramatma is not understood as a Paramatma, it is mistaken as a Jivatma. Jiva is nothing but Jivatma's definition is this: Jivatma is nothing but misunderstood Paramatma. That's all. We have to say that way. Jivatma is nothing but misunderstood Paramatma. Like snake is nothing but misunderstood rope. Same way we have to say rope is not a new entity. But on analysis of the snake, snake loses snakeness and becomes rope. So When Swamiji, then I become a Paramatma, that's my new status. No, no, sir, you are Paramatma. But under the spell of ignorance, you are saying yourself as a Jivatma. Now, of course, that ignorance has gone with the help of this knowledge, and now you claim what's your real nature. So this Jnana Phalam here is what? Dropping of a mistake or a wrong status given to myself. No new entity is of course discovered. Something we are seeing wrongly due to ignorance has been dropped. So I am a finite human being, etc., born on a given date. Then I am son or a daughter of so and so. Then I am husband and wife of so and so. I am father and mother of so and so. I am grandfather, grandmother of so and so. Various status, And then comes other varieties of other notions also. All this is Jivatma status. All born of, basically, Ajnana. All born of ignorance of your real nature. So Jivatma is a total of all wrong status given to that I, which is nothing but Paramatma. And so, while gaining knowledge, basically your clarity about your own nature grows. That's what is happening. The Jnana Yoga is nothing but clarity about your own nature is growing. And definitely you are dropping simultaneously the wrong notions about yourself. That is called dropping the status of a Jivatma. You are dropping the status of a Jivatma in the process of knowing yourself, and it is a growing clarity. These words I will stay with that, these words, because there is nothing going to be the one day Jivatma will come to know that I am Paramatma. Something will happen and he will come to know that I am Paramatma. There is nothing of that sort. As you definitely do Shravanam and Mananam and Nididhyasanam, you are dropping a wrong status which is born of a ignorance. That wrong status called Jivatma. I am Jiva, I am individual. That status you are dropping, and your original nature you are claiming. One day you will say, I am no more a ignorant of my own nature, that I am Brahman. What Shastra says, I am totally clear about me. That is what I am clear about. So, this is called Jnana Phalam. In Sanskritam they call it Jivatma Brahma Nivrittihi. That, I am a Jiva, etc., I am individual. That kind of a Bhranti, that kind of a wrong notion gets gets destroyed, or it's Nivritti, it goes away. It's removed. That is Jnana Phalam. Main Phalam you have to keep in mind, Ajnana Nivritti. That's a direct Phalam. The destruction of the ignorance pertaining to the self, centered on the self, that goes away. That's a direct. All these are consequential then later. Jivatma, Brahma Nivritti, etc. So here let's see the verse. Brahmani Jivata Bhrantya Krita. Brahmani Jivata Bhrantya. Brahmani, upon me, whose intrinsic status is a Brahman, on that Jivata Krita, Jivata, false status of this Jivatma. Jivata is basically, it's an abstract noun. So let's say individuality, or a basically Jivatvam. Jivata is equal to Jivatvam. So Jivaness, basically. Jivata is Jivaness. It's an individuality. False status of a Jivatma, which is superimposed upon this I, which is Brahman basically, and there is superimposed. So we have to add with a Jivata, you have to add Adhyasta, Adhyaropita. But why it is Adhyaropa? Bhrantya, because of ignorance. Because of ignorance, I superimpose on myself a individuality, a Jivatva, etc. And a very nice example has been given here, Sthano Purushavat. Sthano. Sometimes what they do in monsoon, in India, they do like this. If they get a good rain and etc., some of the trees, definitely they become so thick and they grow so well in the monsoon. And sometimes it happens that there is a fear that it may fall down because of a lot of wind. Then it may cause a lot of damage. So what they do is they trim the tree. But sometimes they trim the trees so much that they just keep a stump for stump of up to 5 or 6 feet. They keep it that much. Everything they remove, especially neem trees, because the neem is used for several purposes, to make soap and other so many things they make out of that. So they, especially neem trees, they cut so much. Just 5 to 6 feet of stump they keep. Everything they remove. And now such a stump is there. Of course, it's a live tree. And and definitely then after some time, branches come out. Let's say there are 2 branches coming out of that, from that stump. And then leaves also start coming in the branches. And our one friend, he went to see a movie. And that show was in the movie theater. That particular show was of 9 to 12 in the night. If you remember, in those days, in the night also they used to keep like 9 to 12. And he saw some ghost movie there. And then he was returning. Naturally, after 12 o'clock he returns, and the road was lonely. Nobody was there. And he was coming. And there was a street light, tube light, very little away from that stump, basically, from that tree, basically. And little away. But then still the light was falling on it. And he was coming, and from a distance, he saw that. And he found that, this 5 to 6 feet stump, instead he saw that it's a human body. And two branches, he saw those branches as 2 hands. And also that leaves were, they were just in the wind. And so, so he found it like a fingers, they are just, shaking. And so from the distance he saw, and he thought it is nothing but a ghost, because he saw that movie, ghost movie. And so he found that that is a ghost. Now you can see that Sthanam Purushavat. Here Purusha means I am telling ghost, because I want to derive some principle from that. So basically it is a harmless, fearless tree. On that he superimposed a ghost, which creates a fear. A harmless tree becomes a fearless tree becomes a source of fear. Could you follow? So the same thing is here. I am is a source of a fear. I am is a source of anxiety. I am is a source of the tension. I am is a source of insecurity. I am is a source of a sorrow. I am is a source of anxiety. All this I am is a source. Which I is a source? Misunderstood I is a source of fear. Same, the misunderstood tree, which is harmless, has become a source of a fear. Same way here. If misunderstood I becomes a source of fear. Understood I becomes a source of fearlessness. Misunderstood I is a source of insecurity. Understood I is a source of security. Misunderstood I is a source of sorrow. Understood I is a source of joy. Misunderstood I is a source of anxiety. Understood I is a source of peace. Right? So same thing. So very apt example Shankaracharya gives. Sthanam Purushavat. Basically it's a sthanam. Harmless. Has become, but misunderstood. Then it has become a source of fear. Same way here. Then, what is to be done to remove that thief from that person's mind? Only thing is, he has to understand that there is no thief. Right? He has to understand that there is no thief. There is no other solution. Nothing can work. If he stops there and starts chanting Hanuman Chalisa also, that will not go. That thief will not go, or that ghost will not go. Let's say thief. Why should we say thief? Keep a thief or a ghost, whatever you like. Anyway. So that ghost will not go. Ghost will not go. Why ghost will not go? Hanumanji can't help. But to begin with, there is no ghost. Where is the question of going? If ghost is there, definitely by listening to this Hanuman Chalisa, definitely it will go away. But to begin with, there is no ghost at all. And therefore, definitely understanding that there is no ghost there is the only solution of that. So, same way, well, I should understand to remove this samsari I, considering insecure and unhappy and and anxiety. I mean, with a lot of anxiety and tension, and well, that samsari I, he is due to misunderstanding of oneself, and to understand that well, I am the source of security and happiness, and definitely this joy or peace, etc. Well, that then only I can gain that peace, etc., because I am the very source of it. So Shankaracharya ji says, Tatvike rupe drashte sati, when real nature of jiva is understood, that I am a samsari, etc. Well, Tatvike rupe tasmin drashte. Tasmin means because in the first line, Brahmani has been told. So, well, Tatvike rupe means what is my real nature? That is Brahman. If that is been understood, then that false jivatvam is as though driven away. When it is understood that this is nothing but a stump of tree, then definitely that ghost, etc., will go away. Well, same way, here also, when I understand myself in light of this knowledge, well, this false jivatvam is as though driven away. Nivartate means it goes away. So this is a second benefit. Jivatva bhranti nivritti. First benefit, ajnana nivritti. This is a consequential benefit. Now, verse 46. Tattvasvarupa anubhavat utpannam jnanamanjasa aham mameti cha jnanam badate dikbhramadivat. Now, same idea, of course, is repeated here in a different language. I think Shankaracharya ji wants us to get a full impact of this principle, and so his idea is the same, and words are different. Now, in previous verse, it told that jivatva bhranti nivritti is talked about. So, jivatvam is basically a technical word. So, well, what do you mean by this jivatva nivritti? What do you mean this individuality goes away, etc.? What does it mean actually? So then, what difference it makes in my day-to-day life? Let's say that way. Individuality goes away, etc. This jiva goes away, etc. Jivatvam, the status of a wrong status of me, misunderstood status of I, the Paramatma. Well, that is jiva goes away. But how does it connect to my day-to-day life? That's okay. That's a jnana phalam I understood. But then I should understand in terms of my day-to-day life. Day-to-day. So that day-to-day, what is that? So we now replace word jiva by something else. And that is ahankara and mamakara. Is called jiva. Ahankara plus mamakara is equal to jiva. This individual has two things. There is a I-ness and there is a mindness, etc. Ahankara and mamakara. And this ahankara and mamakara both are born. Both are basically born of relationship. Ahankara is a one particular type of relationship. Mamakara is a different type of relationship. And definitely, so basically in a day-to-day life, when I day-to-day life means what? I relate, right? I relate to the people, I relate to the objects. That is my day-to-day life. And so, basically, here, if we want to understand this in terms of our day-to-day life, this jnana phalam, result of this knowledge, advantage in terms of day-to-day life, well, we have to understand in terms of relationship. Because relationship causes a lot of problem, ultimately. Whatever, relationship to the world, relationship to the people, ultimately causes a lot of problem. It is the source of fear, anxiety and everything. It is a source of raga dvesha also, to begin with. So let's say, first let's see the ahankara. What is ahankara? There is a sense of I-ness. But in that sense of I-ness, well, definitely there is a relationship with the bodies, three bodies. So when the consciousness, well, that is my real nature, when it gets associated, identified with these three bodies. And then as though consciousness is enclosed in the three bodies. And I consider myself as a individual, Jiva. Jiva is nothing but the same limitless consciousness confined to three bodies. That's all. What three bodies? That you know very well. Sthula, Sukshma, Karanshara. That is called Ahankara. That's how we have, if you remember, we have discussed this. When basically this Atma and Anatma, and there are no two entities, but we have to begin with that. So basically, the consciousness, that is Atma, limitless consciousness, and this Anatma, the three bodies, when they identify with each other, we call it as a Tadatmya Dhyasa. Well, then definitely the Atma is taken as a body and body is taken as the I. While in that case, this I-ness is born. I-ness is born, Ahankara is born. So that is also relationship. The consciousness as though has a relationship with the body. And so enclosed within the body. So that is a one type of relationship. And once you say that I am this body, I am physical body, well then connected to the physical body in the world, there are objects and there are people. So with them also then I get associated. I get related. That's called Mamakara. Connected to the body, whatever the objects are there, people are there, I have a sense of belonging. They all create a sense of belonging in me only when I take the body as I. When definitely, that's your own experience also. When a sense of I-ness goes away from this body, means you are not aware of your body as I in a deep sleep state, then you are not related to other people who are sleeping in the same room. Maybe so close people also are there. But still you are not related to them. But once you wake up, once you are aware of your body, once you place I-ness, a sense of I you have in this body, then you are related to all the people. So this is how Ahankara and Mamakara both are basically relationship. Ahankara means a consciousness related to the three bodies. And Mamakara means conscious. Then once you take yourself as a body, then a sense of belonging comes in you as a jiva from the different objects or different people. Then so that's called Mamakara. And well, then definitely in every relationship, then you will have every relationship produces basically a bunch of ragadvesha. So in every relationship you have a ragadvesha. Every relationship. Think after that, after the class. Like you think of your father. You like in some way, you dislike in some way. You think about your husband or wife, whatever. You think about your son, daughter, or think about even your neighbor also. You have for one neighbor you have one kind of a ragadvesha, for other neighbor you have a different type of ragadvesha. So basically, from the relationship, ultimately a bunch of ragadveshas are also born. Born of expectation, basically, frankly speaking. Once you relate with anything in the world, you should always understand that ragadveshas are going to come. When it comes, suppose I relate today to this thing, first time, a new relationship. In new relationship, there is no expectation. There is no expectation. In fact, I say that your ragadveshas are my ragadveshas. You say that way also. I don't want to go into, because you all are grahasthas, you know very well. When you met a person initially, in a married life, you say what you like, I like. What you dislike, I dislike. But as you become closer, then you also generate certain expectation. Her or his expectations are not basically are all the time fulfilled. You also will have. You say also, well, I fulfill your expectation, you should fulfill my expectation. So anyway, that is ragadvesha. Your expectations are nothing but your bunch of ragadvesha. That's all it is. And that is the cause of all the problems. That is how initially in married life there are no problems. You find there is a harmony. because so much harmony. Well, he says, well, shall we go for a movie? Okay. Shall we, will not go for a dining. We'll make something in the home itself. She says, yes, yes, yes. Everything. And he says, well, tomorrow morning you make this. Okay, okay, okay. I also like that. Whether you like or not, that's a different thing. But you you create a harmony by keeping expectations zero on your part. You go by others' expectation. In fact, that is the success of a married life. Fulfilling expectation of others. That's what I have heard Swami V, giving little advice or let's say blessing also. And to a newly married couple, they come and to get a blessing from Swamiji. And Swamiji narrates so beautifully. And he shows this principle. Keep your expectations aside. Fulfill the expectation of others. And in the process, your expectations will be fulfilled without demanding for fulfillment. Right? Without demanding for fulfillment, your expectation will be fulfilled in course of time. So this is the success of a married life. Basically, a clash is a clash of ragadveshas between the two people. A clash of personalities we call, but it is nothing but a personality is nothing but a bundle of ragadveshas, bundle of likes and dislikes, and that a person wants to fulfill through that person who is very near. And in the world, well, basically you are not related to the entire world. You are related to the few people, basically. You are related to few. And in that few people you are related, well, your relationship grows. Day by day you become closer, and as you become closer to each other, the expectations are born. And that is nothing but ragadveshas, and you want them to be fulfilled through that person. So anyway, so basically this ahankara and mamakara brings to this kind of a thing. And ultimately, and those expectations, when they are fulfilled, definitely you will feel you will have a suffering in your life. So ahamesha mama ete, we say, I belong to them, they belong to me. That is called mamakara. And well, I am the body, physical body, I am the subtle body, etc. What I am the mind, senses, etc. This is called ahankara. So actually nobody belongs to anyone. That's what even in Uddhava Gita has been told very beautifully, that due to karma people come together and get separated. If relationship is really enjoyable, then we say, well, it is my prarabdha or punyam, etc. If it is not enjoyable, we say, it is my prarabdha, papam, etc. Basically, no, we are not related to each other, honestly speaking. We are all related to Ishvara. That's our basic relationship. We are all related in every janma. From birth to death, we are only related to Ishvara. There is nothing else. So there is only one relationship, and the basic relationship. All other relationships are just born of ignorance. And of course, ultimately, even that relationship also is not there. I am not related to Ishvara. Basically, I and Ishvara are one alone. That you know very well. So there is an Advaitam. So therefore in Advaitam there is no Sambandha at all. But anyway, so this Ahankara and Mamakara is this Jivatva, born of ignorance. First you take the body as a self, born of ignorance, and then connected to the body, etc. You have a sense of belonging to few objects, few people, and that is also called Mamakara. So Ahankara, Mamakara both together is called Jivaha, and that Jiva is nothing but a product of ignorance. Anyway, so we'll see further tomorrow. Time is over. Oh, anyway, we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.